right, let's get into it. The first live of 2025, baby. Let's get into the energy. Okay, let's get into it. Sure. Go. Okay. Oops. Okay. So. Okay, so there's so much that I want to discuss today. Um, First and foremost, Happy New Year. Make sure we made it out of 2024, a Saturn year, first and foremost. We made it and we are here, but the work has just begun, really. 2024 for us really was more so like preparing us for what's to come, right? It's preparing us for this new world that we are going to be building, right? It's an entire new world that we are going to be building. And so that was what the preparation from 2024 was. We have to bring over what we've learned from that year, right? So with 2024, it was, hold on, I need to clear off my glasses, y'all. 2024 was a year of introspection, right? Introspection, really looking inward, really sitting our asses down. Okay, if I can say it as blunt as it needs to be said. It was really a year, bitch, for you to get your shit together. It was really a year for you to surrender, for you to let go of the illusion that you are in control. That's what 2024 was. It was a year that was supposed to deepen our faith. We were supposed to mature spiritually, right? And as you guys know, anything, what the hell is this on my glasses? Anything that we are or have gone through, we're not just going through it just to go through it. We're going through it for a reason, and it's up to us to be committed to doing the work in order to understand why we went through that. Right? So now here we are in 2025. We are to bring what we learned from that year and to bring it into this year. So this is a year that is, it's a Mars year. Okay, so 2024 was ruled by Saturn. And everybody knows Saturn is the planet of responsibility. It's the planet of hard lessons, right? So now that we're in a Mars year, this is the year where we're going to really have to take action. Okay, this is a year where we're really going to have to take action. This is not the year where we're sitting down and just watching from the sidelines. This is a year where you're really going to have to lace your boots up and figure out what skills or gifts that you have that your community needs. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of year that this is going to be. This year is also ruled by the number nine, right? Nine is all about end of cycles, completion. I want you to think of, when I say nine, I want you to think of, right? It's basically like right before you enter a new decade, right? So the age 19, the age 29, right? Right before you enter into your 20s, right before you enter into your 30s. It's that year of when you're kind of like wrapping up the old in order to embrace the new. So that's the energy of this year. And that's what we're going to see, right? And so that's a big factor in that. And so also, so let's move on to the astrology side of things. So on January 11th, we have the nodes. The lunar nodes are going, excuse me, the nodes of the moon are going to be changing over from Aries and Libra, right? So the past 18 months, the nodes has been in Aries and Libra. Aries and Libra is all about relationships, right? Libra is about, so we have Libra in the South Node. Now, the South Node is what we're comfortable with. It's what we're what we need to move away from, what we need to let go of. So Libra was about the relationships. It was highlighting our relationships and looking at where we could be people pleasing, right? Then we have the Aries in the North Node. Aries being in the North Node, Aries is the leader. Aries is all about their individuality, right? It's all about the I am. And that was the factor of what you need to let go of and what you need to move towards. So now on January 11th, we are going to be moving into where the Pisces and Virgo of the moon. So these two, when these two are paired up, these are the nodes of service. Pisces is the spiritual service, and Virgo is the practical service. So this is why I say tie that energy with Mars energy. You're going to get, when you tie that energy with Mars energy, you have to take action. Like I said before, this is not the time to sit on the sideline and just watch from afar and say, oh, I want to do this. You really need to be thinking of this year. You need to be thinking of as if you lived in a small town, right? And you know how when people live in a small town, everybody know everybody, right? But they rely on their community a lot. The problem is, as a society, we have relied on the corporations too much, to the point where we have stopped relying on our community, right? And so when you think about people who live in a small town, they know there's a community doctor, there's a community spiritualist, there's a community farmers market they're all going to, there's a community librarian. Like, they're relying on their community, right? And this is what you need to get in the mindset of when you are, this is what you need to get into the mindset of when you are trying to figure out what your skills, like, where do you belong in your community? What skills and what gifts do you have that your community can benefit from? This is the energy of 2025. This is the energy of the Pisces and the Virgo nodes, right? And so with that being said, this is also going to want to be the year that you're going to want to prioritize your health. You're going to want to prioritize your self-care, because you're going to be in so much service that you're going to need alone time, because that is how you're going to recharge yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to have to find the balance that allows you to be productive, allows you to show up while also still prioritizing your alone time. You get what I'm saying? So that is the main thing that we want to pay attention to. You get what I'm saying? So that's just very important, right? So then on the 13th, we also have the Cancer. Full moon is going to be in the sign of Cancer. Now, the moon is going to be in its home sign, which is Cancer. And so you want to look up into your chart on where this may fall for you, of where you have Cancer in your chart. Everyone has a placement of Cancer in their chart. You just have to pull it up and look into it and see what house it falls under. But this full moon also falls on Monday, which is a moon's day. So this is really like a call for emotional healing. Whatever it is that you are needing to get rid of, whatever it is that you are needing to let go of. And I know we hear that a lot, right? We hear that a lot when people are like, oh, you need to let go of this. You need to release the things that's no longer serving you. Now, when we're saying this, we're not saying that this shit is easy. This shit is very difficult, actually. If we're being honest, it's very difficult to do, because sometimes the shit that you need to let go of is what you may not want to let go of, right? You may not want to let go of. You may not want to, it just may not feel right, right? Sometimes it's some things that you may be in denial about. So this full moon is going to bring up all that. It's going to bring up all that emotional healing, that work that you need to do, right? It's no escaping it this full moon. And This is the water sign. So we're going to be very much in our emotions. So you just want to be mindful of that and to really give yourself grace, but to also journal about it and just be real with yourself. You know, if you are not going to be real with anybody else, at least be real with yourself, because that's going to be the only way that we move forward. Right? 2025 is not going to be the year where you want to not do the things that light you up. It's not going to be the year where you are able to ignore the work, because we're entering into next year, 2026. We're going to be entering into a new world. Okay, we're going to be entering into a new world. So this is the time where you really want to be able to, where you really allow yourself to see it for what it is. You know, so that's just extremely important. So that is just extremely important, and that's what we have to, because you guys have to think this. When I constantly say that you have to, when I constantly say that you have to follow the things that light you up, this is how you give yourself more life. And there's going to be a lot of shit that we're going to see during this year, right? We're also going to be entering the end of this month. We're going to be entering the same energy as the pandemic, right? What we all know what that energy consists of. So this is a time where you really want to be prioritizing your health. You should be consuming ginger on a daily, right? It's a lot of people that's sick right now, and a lot of people are kind of like, and when I'm talking to my family and stuff and my community, and they're kind of like, oh, I'm not feeling well, whatever the case may be. I'm like, oh, drink some lemon ginger tea. And some of them may not like lemon ginger tea, right? But they're like, oh, I am drinking tea, and they just drinking a different type of tea. But you want to be very intentional with the tea that you drink when you are sick, right? You can't just like, oh, I'm going to drink some black tea, or I'm going to drink some orange tea, or whichever tea. You want to be consuming ginger tea. This is a time to prioritize your health. The energy is giving 2020 all over again. Right? It's giving that energy all over again. So this is the time where you want to be stretching your body. You want to, if you hear that people are sick or people are sick around you, this is the time for you to be starting to be proactive with your health. Don't wait till something becomes so big that it starts to consume you and then decide to like, oh, now I'm going to start prioritizing my health. That's not going to get you anywhere. So you want to start now, right? I always say 1 cup of ginger a day to keep the doctor away. Period. You want to be very intentional. Now's the time when you get up in the morning, you need to be intentional about how you want to live your life. There's no more just I'm waking up and wherever the fuck the wind blows me. We're not gonna get. You're not gonna get anywhere, right? You can get to where you're trying to go much faster when you move with intention, not control, but intention. Right? I want to set myself up to have a good day. So what am I going to do to allow myself to have a good day? Well, I'm going to get up before my household gets up. If you're a mom or wife, you know that the hack is getting up before the rest of the house gets up. In order for you to have that time to yourself before your child gets up, and before everybody starts saying, I need this, I need this, I need that, I'm going to have to get up earlier before everyone else gets up in order to have my time to myself, where I'm able to read my daily word, where I'm able to stretch my body, where I am able to journal and just check in with me. You're going to know that you have to get up early. That is the attention that I am moving with on a daily. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not going to set my alarm. I'm just going to wake up whenever, because I know I'm going to wake up after everybody else wakes up. Or we're all going to wake up at the same time. And I didn't even have an opportunity to check in with me to make sure that I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do. This is the year to prioritize your health. Y'all know the shit we went through during the pandemic. Y'all know how that was and how that we all was there, right? So this is a time in January to really start looking into your health. Really start getting your blood work done. All of these things. And we're in winter season anyway. So that is already, when you allow yourself to flow with the seasons, that's what you already should be doing. This is hibernation season when you should really be tuning into your soul. Maybe eating more soups, eating more root vegetables, things of that sort. You understand what I'm saying? Just being more intentional. Okay. And so, like I was mentioning, so we have the Pisces and the Virgo. We have the Pisces and the Virgo nodes switching over. So you're gonna see a lot of people talk about medicine. You're going to see a lot of people talking about health. You're going to see a lot of people talking about social work and animals and just things of this sort, healing and things like that. This is all going to be the common theme, right? So you kind of want to make sure that you're just, whatever gifts or skills that you have, because moving forward, we're going to see a lot of old systems crashing. We're going to see it. We've already are seeing it. If you're paying attention and reading between the lines, we're already seeing that it's a lot of systems that are breaking down. Like I said, as a society, we have become too reliant on these corporations, right? With your food, with your water, all of these things. We're going to see these systems break down. It's been long overdue. So you want to, for this year, starting now, because like I said, this year is ruled by 9. So we're ending cycles because next year, 2026, we're embracing, it's going to be a whole new world that we're building. It's just like if you're 29 and you're turning into your 30. You're going to, when you're there at 29, you're just like, okay, let me get my shit together. At my big age, let me get my shit together. I should know what I'm going to do. Okay, who do I need to let go of? What's no longer serving me? Do I want to move? Do I want a new job? And you just start to take action. That's what this year is going to feel like, where you're just starting to prioritize the things that are going to really allow you to be your best self. So really figuring out what your gifts are. What is your spiritual gift? What is your practical gifts? What is your skill set of how your community can benefit from it, right? Because we need to start moving just like how people who live in a small town, right? When they're like, oh, everybody knows everybody. We have this is the community doctor, this is the community policeman, this is the community spiritualist, this is the community of the library that we all go to. That's how you need to be thinking and approaching this year. What is it that I can do that my people can benefit from? And when I say my people, I'm not just saying the people you're related to, I'm just saying your families. But whoever your community is, how can they benefit from it? What is it that you have? Everybody has something. You're just overthinking it, right? Everybody has something. You're just overthinking it. And this is where I help my clients when I help them look into their human design chart, because a lot of people don't know their gifts. They're unaware of it. And that's fine, because there's tools that will help you become aware of it. And one of those tools are human design. You will find out what your gifts are, what are your unique gifts, why you operate the way you do, your energy, what motivates you, how are you meant to show up in the world with your energy, and how can you allow people to benefit from that energy, and how you are meant to, even down to your digestion. You know, some people are only meant to eat when it's daytime. Some people are meant to eat when it's like the night owls, right? Maybe they want to consume their food later in the day. It goes in complete detail. And when you look into that, you will have an aha moment of like, oh, because a lot of times, guys, when it comes to your gifts, you don't even know that they're gifts because it comes so natural to you. So this is why I say look up into that, right? So yeah, this is something that you're going to see with the nodes. And we're going to be moving. You'll see people get way more spiritual. You're going to see people with the Pisces. When Pisces move into that North Node means this is the energy that we are moving to. And Virgo, because the nodes are always in the opposite. Pisces is the opposite of Virgo, and Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, right? Virgo is about practical care, where Pisces is about spiritual care. So, because Pisces, this is the energy we want to move towards, because this is the North Node. We're moving away from the Virgo energy, being overcritical, right? Just being hard on ourselves, or just being more self-reliant. We're now moving into Pisces. This is going to have us being more spiritual. People are going to be really seeking astrology. People are really going to be seeking to really understand themselves on a deeper level. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's why this energy is going to be so important to be aware of, so that way you can make sure that you are in alignment. You're going to see people talk about faith more, and people are going to be relying more on their intuition, not so much on their mind. That's another thing that human design teaches you to rely on. It teaches you to rely on your intuition, feeling from the body. We have allowed our minds to tell us where we're going, and we allowed our minds to be the decision maker too often. When now we need to, human design teaches you to rely on your intuition, to rely on what your body tells you. Your body will tell you yes or no before your mind does. But what happens is, if we have a yes and it excites us, we then sit there and we overthink it. And we wait for our mind to tell us that, oh, that isn't right. Let's look at all the things that can go wrong. And then you end up not doing it. Or if our body tell us no, like, oh, damn, I just have a feeling that this ain't gonna work. I just have a feeling that I'm not supposed to be doing this. But then our mind tells, well, this is what we should do. You should want to do that. You should want to tune into this. You should want to do X, Y, and Z. And that's what we need to move away from. And that's what we're going to move away from. Right? That's what we're going to move away from. So that's just something that you want to be mindful of the energy for 2025. Right? That's just something you want to be in the energy of for 2025. Figuring out what your gifts are, figuring out what lights you up. And another thing, because some shit is hitting the fan, as we already see. Shout out to my prayers are with LA right now with the fires. This is more shit that we're going to see. We're going to see more of these things of people in crisis, people who are going to really need to rely on their community to help, and to whichever you can do, find a way to help. Find a way. There's different funds that you can donate to. There's many different ways, but this is going to be a year of crisis. And when there's a year of crisis, it's really important to protect your peace, right? Making sure that you are aware. You can be aware, but still make sure that you're not allowing it to consume you to where it's fucking with your vibration and it's bringing you down, right? We really want to be mindful of that and keep our vibration up, because that is what we need to do as an individual to keep our health intact, right? And not to allow fear to paralyze us. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what, find the things that brings you joy. I don't give a damn if it's a video game, if it's you making clothes, if it's a new book. My thing, I love to read. I love to read fiction, nonfiction. That's my whole thing. I have a whole bookstagram, everything. But reading is one of the things that I love to get lost in. I love to read. Another thing, I love to cook, renew recipes and things like that. I love to cook. I love to find different things to cook. It's just a whole exciting thing for me. But that is the thing that brings me joy, and it allows me to keep my energy up. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, go read you a book. Go to the library. Go skating. Go do something that excites you. because we're going to need it in order to keep your vibrations up for the type of year we're going to have this year. And this isn't about fear, it's just what it is. We are already seeing it, it's there, we can see it, right? But what are you going to do to protect your peace? What are you doing to protect your peace? Are you going to allow yourself to just be consumed by it and be down about it and just like, oh, I can't enjoy where I am because there's so many people going through this? And yes, that is partially true, but you still have to focus on you to keep your vibration up. You get what I'm saying? So that's really much that I had today. That's much I really want to talk about. Like I said, it's a year of just finding a spiritual path to follow, whatever that means for you, right? Finding a spiritual practice that allows you to check in with yourself, that allows you to be grounded, right? So that way, when shit does hit the fan on the outside, it's not, when there's tower moments going on, it's not consuming you to the point where you are just off your square. You know, so that's just something that, you know, we want to really pay attention to. And just think about service. How can I help my community? How can I show up for the people that I am meant to show up for? How can I be of service? That's the question of 2025. How can I be of service to my community? I can't solve every problem. I can't heal everybody. But I can help those that I am meant to help. You see what I'm saying? So, like for me, I do spirituality, I do human design, I do astrology. I help people spiritual mentor. I help people understand themselves better, right? And that's what it's about. I'm a health coach. I'm teaching people how to eat better, how to be mindful of the things that they're eating. This is how I am giving back and pouring into my community. And yes, I benefit from the things as far as like me learning these things is also I'm applying it to my own life. But I'm the type of person where whatever I learn, I'm running straight to my community. Anybody that knows me knows if I'm learning something, I'm the person I'm gonna bring it to the people and say, did y'all know about this? Did you guys know that you can do this? I'm one of those people. Just that's how I'm right here on here. I learned about astrology, I learned about human design, and I bring that wisdom that I've learned and I come to share it with my community. This is not the time to gatekeep, right? This is not the time to gatekeep. So yeah, that's really all much that I had to share on this Thursday. Just more so about releasing the past and embracing the future. Because we are building a new world. And we're going to see the old world, y'all, that we knew. And 2024 prepared us for this. The old world that we knew, that we grew up with, and that it's no more of that. And it's nothing to be as sad about, because that's also a grieving process. That's also something that you have to like come to terms with. Like, damn, I have to like, okay, right? But you have to look to the future and to understand like, okay, the time is now for me to be intentional about creating a new world. That's what the future is. Letting go of the old to embrace the new. And that's what we have to allow ourselves to understand. That's why I say all these things of understanding what it is that lights you up. Because when you start to pay attention, because a lot of times, y'all, the things that excite us, you may not even know that they are exciting you. But pay attention. The next time something excites you that makes you like, oh my God, like just so excited, like a kid, pay attention to that and pay attention to that feeling. And when you start to pay attention to that feeling, you will start, the things that don't bring that feeling will start to stand out to you. And you'd be like, damn, I need to add more joy into my life. That's what you ask yourself. How can I add more joy into my day? We know about working 9 to 5s and all these things, and you got to do all these different tasks and these different responsibilities. You do all these hats that you wear. How can you add more joy into your life on a day-to-day basis? Whether that's learning a new recipe, finding a new book, and sharing it with the community. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what you want to be thinking about. That's what's going to help you move through this energy that 2025 is going to bring. But on the plus side as well, we're just be excited about the future. Don't be so stuck in the past that you're like, damn, I no longer can do this, or this person is no longer here to make these memories, but just acceptance is what it really is. It's really just acceptance, and allowing yourself to be excited for the future in a way that allows you to move intentional. Okay, so that's what I have to say about that. We have the full moon in Cancer on Monday, Moon's Day. Cancer is in the moon will be in his home sign, which is Cancer. So this is all about emotional healing. That's what I get from that. Emotional healing. What is it that you need to let go of that maybe is still weighing heavy on you? What is it that you need to release? People, things, habits, jobs that you need to release in order to allow you to feel lighter. Because the thing about the load, it gets heavy before it gets lighter. And if it's already heavy, then you know the next feeling is to feel lighter. So what is it that you need to release? Full moons is all about releasing, all about letting go. What is it that you need to let go of for this emotional healing breakthrough to happen? Right? And so this is going to be the energy, it's going to be the energy of, like I said, being more spiritual, really relying on your faith, really allowing yourself to strengthen your faith and to mature spiritually. That's what this year is going to be about. That's the energy. So that's why I say this year, 2025, you're not going to get out of doing the work. That's the thing. You're not going to get out of doing the work. We also have a lot of outer planets changing signs. Now, when these outer planets change signs, they don't change sign often. We just had Pluto in Aquarius back in November come out of Capricorn. So the next 20 years, Pluto is now in Aquarius. So we're going to see a lot of new systems come into place when it comes to technology. Aquarius is also the water barrier. So we're going to see some things about water, the type of water we're drinking, and things of that sort. That's why I say this is going to be a year we're going to have to rely on your spiritual practices, rely on your community, because so much, so much of these things are going to affect you. They definitely are. This is why we can't get out of doing the work. We have to do the work, right? And so we have Neptune will be entering into Aries this year. Saturn will be moving into Aries this year. So a lot of Aries energy. Okay, Aries is pioneers, leadership. Very much so the initiator. Very much so get shit done. But Aries is also the god of war, right? So battle. One thing you never want to do is bring a fight to an Aries. So this is just something you want to be mindful of. I'm gonna speak more on these transits when we get closer to it. They won't really be happening till around April, May, March. So I'll speak on that more then in depth then, but it's just something to, like I said, things are changing. I say all that to say things are changing. We're entering into a new world. But before we get there, this is a 9 year, before we get to that new decade, right? Because remember, when I say decade, I mean like when I say the 9 number, it's like when you're 29, about to enter 30. You're 19, about to enter your 20s. It's that weird year that you're kind of just like, you feel in limbo between the old world and limbo of kind of getting ready to embrace a new decade. That's what this year is going to feel like. Like we're in limbo. We're in limbo from getting rid of the old, but then also embracing what's to come. Excuse me, embracing what's new. Okay? So, I think I talked enough. I need to go get me some breakfast, but that's just what you want to think of. And it's nothing to be scared about. If anything, let this energy inspire you. Let this energy make you feel like let's go. Like let this energy like kind of activate your inner Black Panther. Like you get what I'm saying? Like the Black Panther party. I ain't talking about the movie, but we can use the movie too. But really like your inner activist. Like, your inner like advocate. Like let this energy really ignite that. Let this energy put a fire under your ass of like, okay, let me get my shit together. How can I make sure I'm good and make sure my community has what they need from me? How am I being of service? How am I walking in my purpose to make sure that I'm helping those that are around me? You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. So use this energy not to bring you down, not to put you in fear, not to make you feel like, oh, now I can't do this. No, you need to say, now I can do this. Okay, let me lace my boots up and let's get to it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something you want to think about. Like I said, I offer human design readings. I offer astrology readings where I pull up your chart and I will look into your nodes, just like I talk about as a collective, where because the country, as a country, United States, they have their own natal chart, right? And so right now the nodes are moving into Pisces and Virgo. You also have your own nodes. Like my nodes is Scorpio and Taurus. So that is the nodes of transformation, releasing the need to be in control and to embrace um, and get rid of outdated belief systems and things of that sort. That's what I'm here to help the collective do with that Scorpio energy. So I will help you and look into your chart and point those things out to you. Okay, so I offer tarot readings. I also offer oracle readings. So, very much spiritual guidance, spiritual mentorship. And then soon I'll also be offering health coaching where I will help you with your nutrition and help you with your mindful eating and things of that sort. But I have my links all in the description where you can find me and find more about me and connect with me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next live. But that's all I need to share. So go do something that makes you excited. Go do something that uplifts your spirit and helps your community at the same time. Okay? Thank you. Bye.